Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah,
It's genuinely astonishing how quickly things are moving in AI and robotics, isn't it?
it really is. Every week feels like a flood of new breakthroughs.
Exactly. And if you're feeling like you're constantly playing catch up, well, you're definitely not alone.
hmm
That's sort of why we're here. Think of this as your curated fast track,
Oh,
zeroing in on the crucial developments you really need to know about right now.
absolutely. I mean, the sheer volume of news can be pretty overwhelming. Our goal isn't to cover every single headline, though.
Right.
We've sifted through a ton of recent info updates from the big players like OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, but also interesting stuff from XAI, Hugging Face, and, well, several others.
To get the signal, not just the noise.
Precisely, to bring you the signal.
So our mission for this deep dive, extract the core progress, understand the nuts and bolts of what's actually happening, and highlight why it matters.
Okay.
Sound good? Let's do it. All right, let's dive right in with OpenAI. They've been making some pretty bold claims about their latest models.
They certainly have. They just announced what they're calling their smartest reasoning AI models yet. That's O3 and O4 Mini.
Okay, O3 and O4 Mini. What's the difference there?
Well, it's kind of strategic. The O4 Mini is really designed with cost effectiveness in mind. That could, broaden its accessibility quite a bit, make it usable in more places.
Cheaper, faster, maybe?
Probably aiming for that balance, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, O3 is positioned as the top tier performer, setting new benchmarks, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. But it's not just raw power, is it? I heard they have some new capabilities.
That's right. And this is quite interesting. A key advance in both O3 and O4 Mini is their ability to do visual analysis within what they call chain of thought reasoning.
Visual analysis within the reasoning. So not just looking at a picture then thinking, but integrating it.
Exactly. Instead of just processing text, they can now interpret images as like an integral part of their problem solving. Think about an AI reading a recipe, but also understanding a picture of the finished dish to maybe spot problems or see how it should look.
Okay, that's pretty neat. And they get all the ChatGPT tools too, like image generation.
Yep, full access to all the current tools, including DALL-E for image generation. So that's integrated right in.
So those are the flagships. But didn't OpenAI also roll out something specifically for developers? API-only stuff.
Yes, exactly. That's the GPT 4.1 family. It actually includes 3 models, 4.1, 4.1 Mini, and 4.1 Nano.
And the hook for these is?
Well, what really stands out is their reported superior performance, specifically on development tasks, coding, debugging, that sort of thing. They're claiming it's better than even the GPT-4o and 4o Mini models for those use cases.
Ah, so they're really targeting the coders with this one, giving them specialized tools.
Seems like it. A deliberate effort to equip developers for, building the next wave of AI applications.
And these 4.1 models, they can handle a massive amount of information at once, right? The context window.
Precisely. Huge context windows up to 1 million tokens.
1 million tokens. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of text.
It's substantial. Allows the AI to keep track of context over much longer, more complex interactions or analyzing huge code bases, things like that.
And they gave a specific benchmark score for coding.
They did. For GPT 4.1, they cited a SWE Bench verified score of 55%.
Okay, 55% on SW Bench. For listeners maybe not deep into software engineering, what does that actually mean? Can it reliably fix bugs or write code?
It suggests a pretty significant ability, yeah. It means it can successfully resolve over half of the real-world software engineering problems presented in that benchmark. So a high level of competence in code generation, fixing bugs, understanding complex code. It's definitely a capable tool.
And the cost for developers.
Right, pricing details. For the GPT 4.1 family, it starts at $2 per million input tokens and $8 per million output tokens. Crucial info for anyone planning projects.
Good to know. Okay, so that's OpenAI. Let's pivot to Google. They're not standing still either, I assume.
Definitely not. They've introduced Gemini 2.5 Flash, which seems like their direct competitor to OpenAI's O4 Mini, the cost-effective one.
So another model focused on balancing cost and performance.
That's the idea. It's in preview right now. Google's highlighting its adaptable thinking budget. It can scale up to 24,000 tokens.
A thinking budget. What does that mean practically?
It means it can sort of allocate processing power based on how complex the task is. The goal is delivering quality results efficiently, balancing that triangle of quality, cost, and speed.
Makes sense. And where are its strengths, according to Google?
They're reporting strong performance in reasoning, STEM fields, and particularly visual reasoning, so definitely squaring up against OpenAI's latest.
Okay. But Google also announced something way out there. DolphinGemma.
Haha! Yeah, that one definitely caught my eye. DolphinGemma and AI specifically for understanding dolphin sounds.
Seriously, it's fascinatingly niche.
It really is. It highlights how AI is being applied in increasingly diverse ways. It's a speech-to-speech AI designed to analyze dolphin whistles, clicks, all their vocalizations,
And the goal is?
to try and identify recurring patterns in those sounds, and maybe even predict what sound might come next. It could potentially give us unprecedented insights into animal communication.
That's incredible. Understanding dolphins better through AI. And they're open sourcing it.
Yes, they plan to release the model weights, which is fantastic, right? It really helps the broader scientific community build on this work.
Absolutely. Okay, let's shift to a newer name, maybe less familiar. Scout AI. What's their story?
Right, Scout AI. They just came out of stealth mode, founded by Colby Adcock. Their focus is very specific, building foundational AI models for next-generation defense robotics.
Defense robotics. Okay, so military applications.
That's the implication. And what's notable is, even though they're just launching publicly, they've already secured 2 contracts with the U.S. Department of Defense.
Wow, straight out of the gate. That suggests there's real demand.
It certainly does. Shows the relevance and potential they see in this tech for that sector.
And they have funding to back it up.
Yep. $15 million raised in seed funding. So you've got early government buy-in plus significant private investment. Definitely an area to watch in AI for defense.
Interesting. Okay, back to the tech giants. Microsoft and Copilot. What's new there?
Microsoft is pushing Copilot deeper into the user's workflow. They've expanded Copilot Studio by adding computer use functionality.
Computer use, meaning it can control my computer.
Essentially, yes. It allows users to create AI agents that can directly interact with desktop apps and web browsers. Think automating tasks across different programs.
So it could, like, draft an email,
Yeah.
find a file on my desktop, attach it, and then put a follow-up in my calendar.
That's the kind of integrated automation they're aiming for. Potentially huge productivity booster.
Could be. And there was something about Copilot in the Edge browser, too. Copilot Vision.
Yes, Copilot Vision in Edge. It's an opt-in feature. Important to note, if you turn it on, the AI assistant can basically see what you're browsing.
See the web page.
Right. It analyzes the content you're looking at and can offer assistance based on that context, summarizing articles, providing quick insights, finding related info.
Contextual help based on browsing. Okay, now we can't talk AI without mentioning Elon Musk's XAI and Grok. Updates there.
Yep. Grok got a couple of notable updates, Memory and Studio.
Memory sounds straightforward. It remembers past conversations.
Pretty much. Designed to make interactions more personalized and context-aware by letting Grok retain info from previous chats should lead to more relevant responses over time, a feature many users want.
Definitely. In Studio, is that like a workspace?
Exactly. Studio provides a dedicated space for users to collaborate with Grok on different things, working on documents, coding, brainstorming ideas. It's sort of like a collaborative canvas, similar to concepts we've seen from others.
Okay, collaborative AI workspace. Got it. Now, shifting gears again. Hugging Face, the big name in open source AI, they bought a robotics company.
They did. Quite an interesting move. They acquired Pollen Robotics. That's a French startup known for the open source Ricci 2 humanoid robot.
Ricci 2, I've seen pictures of that one. So Hugging Face, mainly software, is getting into hardware. Open robotics.
It clearly signals a strategic push into open robotics hardware, yeah. Especially focusing on research and education uses.
Why would Hugging Face do that? What's the strategy?
Well, they're likely aiming to democratize access to this kind of advanced robotics tech, combine open source hardware like Ricci 2 with their massive open source AI ecosystem.
Accelerate development. Make it easier for researchers and students to experiment.
That seems to be the goal. Accelerate development, experimentation, and humanoid robotics by lowering barriers. Though it's worth noting, Ricci 2 still costs around $70,000 right now.
$70,000. Yeah, still pricey, but open sourcing the design could definitely drive innovation and maybe lower costs eventually.
That's the hope, I think.
Okay. Let's look east now. China, Kling AI, video generation.
Yes, Kling AI released Kellyanne Any 2.0 Master and also Kohler's 2.0. For video, Kellyanne 2.0 Master is showing some significant improvements, especially in prompt adherence.
Meaning it does a better job of actually creating the video you describe in text.
Exactly. Getting more accurate and translating text descriptions into quite detailed cinematic video clips, even with complex motions. Moving closer to that text-to-video dream.
And Kohler's 2.0 is for images.
Right, their image generation tool. It can now create images in over 60 different artistic styles, while still, importantly, sticking closely to the specific elements, colors, and details you put in the prompt.
More creative control and style options. The creative AI space is just exploding.
It really is.
Okay, back stateside. Anthropic and Claude, what have they added?
Anthropic boosted Claude with a new research feature and also integrated it with Google Workspace.
Research so it can browse the web now, like OpenAI's model or Perplexity.
Pretty much, yeah. It functions similarly. Claude can perform web searches, analyze data you give it, and generate reports or summaries based on that. Kind of like OpenAI's deep research feature.
And the Google Workspace integration, making it more useful for work.
That's the aim. It allows Claude to access and analyze info within your Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Docs, basically plugging its research capabilities directly into your daily workflow if you use Google's tools.
Seamless integration. Makes sense. Now, we mentioned Kling for video, but ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, they also have a new video AI, right? Seaweed.
Yes, Seaweed. And the really interesting thing here is its efficiency. It's reportedly a 7 billion parameter model.
Only 7B. That seems quite small compared to models like Sora.
It is relatively small, yeah. That's the key hyper-efficiency. But despite the size, it handles text to video, image to video, even audio-driven video synthesis. It can generate clips up to 20 seconds long.
And the quality. Can a smaller model compete?
Well, ByteDance claims its performance, in terms of video quality and following the prompt, either matches or even beats much larger models like Sora, Kling 1.6, and Google's Veo in some tests.
Well, if true, that's huge. Shows how fast model architecture and training are improving. Efficiency is key.
Absolutely critical for making these tools more widely usable.
Okay, let's talk foundational tech. Embedding models. Cohere has a new one.
Yes, Cohere released Embed 4. They're calling it a state-of-the-art multimodal embedding model.
Multimodal embedding.
Yep.
So understanding relationships between text, images, maybe other data types, crucial for search and RA systems.
Exactly. These models create those numerical representations that capture meaning. Embed 4 is designed for sophisticated search and retrieval in AI apps.
What are the specs? Big context window?
Very big, 128,000 tokens. So it can process and understand huge amounts of text. Plus, it supports over 100 languages.
Global reach. Anything else stand out?
They're highlighting its optimization for data from regulated industries, think finance, healthcare, suggesting a focus on security and compliance, and also potential storage cost savings, up to 83%, which could be a big deal for companies.
Cost savings are always good news. Okay, let's get physical. Robotics. We mentioned Ricci too. What about robot hands? There was news from South Korea.
That's right. Tesolo, a South Korean company, unveiled their DG5F humanoid hand. The big focus is dexterity mimicking natural human hand movements very closely.
How dexterous are we talking?
It has 20 independently controlled joints. That allows for really fine motor control. Quite impressive.
20 joints in one hand. And can it grip things strongly too? Or is it just delicate?
No, it has strength as well. It's reported to have a 12-kilogram enveloping grasp, like wrapping around an object, and a 3-kilogram pinching grip capacity.
Okay, so strong and nimble. That combination is pretty vital for useful humanoid robots, right?
Absolutely crucial for performing a wide range of real-world tasks effectively.
And finally, speaking of humanoid robots, Figure AI seems to be scaling up fast.
They certainly appear to be. They're on a major hiring spree right now.
What kind of roles?
Hundreds of positions really across the board. AI engineers, security engineers, HMI design leads, system integration and test, legal, manufacturing, pretty much everything you need to build and deploy robots at scale.
That kind of hiring definitely signals ambition and presumably a lot of progress internally.
It strongly suggests they're moving quickly and expanding operations significantly. For anyone interested, they point people to Figure.ai careers.
Right, so, wow. We've covered a lot. OpenAI's reasoning, Google's Flash and Dolphins, Scout's defense focus, Microsoft's agents, xAI's memory, Hugging Face buying robots, Kling and ByteDance making videos, Anthropic researching, Cohere embedding, Tesolo's hand, Figure hiring.
Yeah, when you list it out like that.
It's just the sheer volume and the variety of progress is what really stands out, isn't it? It's not just one thing.
That's a crucial takeaway. It's foundational models, specific applications, developer tools, creative tools, the physical robots themselves. Everything seems to be moving forward and fast.
Yeah, feels like an exponential curve sometimes.
It does feel that way. We're seeing this broad wave of innovation hitting almost every part of the AI and robotics world from so many different players.
Absolutely. Well, that kind of brings us towards the end of this rapid-fire overview for today. It's clear this past week, or period, has been another really significant one.
No doubt. From these smarter reasoning models to actual physical robot advancements and these ever-improving creative tools, it all just points to a really significant acceleration in the field. It's picking up pace.
So for everyone listening, as you kind of process all this, maybe think about the sheer speed and scope here. What could this mean for, I don't know, your job, your daily life, your view of what's coming next? Which of these things we talked about really jumps out at you, maybe sparks some curiosity to look into more?
It's a landscape that's just constantly changing, isn't it? And staying up to date, or at least aware of the big shifts, feels increasingly important. The progress just in this snapshot really highlights that continuous dynamic evolution.
And that's why we do this deep dive, right?
Yeah.
To try and help navigate it all. Thanks for joining us and taking this dive with us today.